I'm Jimmy Moore, and this is the Livin La Vida Low-Carb Show.
I have nothing against a low-carb diet.
Okay.
I want you to understand that. I use it every once in a while in my clinic, and for very specific purposes. I think that a low-carb diet has a lot of things going for it. My question is whether or not it's necessary for the majority of the population.
Right.
That's my question. Not that there's something specifically wrong with low-carb, but whether or not it's truly necessary. Do you have to go to that extent? Because, to be honest with you, most people can't stay on a low-carb diet. I mean, that's what the data shows is, that people pretty much get tired of it after about 6 months. That's what the data from Gary Foster showed. That's what the data from numerous other investigators have shown over time is that, it's a great way to jumpstart a diet. In fact, I was on it for about 6 months back in 2004, and I did pretty well with it. I lost about 10, 12 pounds with it. But, it's just not rational for a, long-term lifestyle change.
Guys, have you heard about their movie, Forks Over Knives?
No.
Oh, yeah. It's coming out March 11th, 2011. Theaters, yeah.
Oh, wow.
They've been doing screenings already. I have not gotten a chance to see it yet, but it's basically a movie about how meat kills you. And the China study features heavily in it. All the plant-based diet doctors that Campbell is fond of are in it, and it should be interesting. The point is to spread the message about plant-based diets, but from what I've heard, it is not very interesting in terms of entertaining people or keeping non-vegans interested.
Yeah, so they're trying to do a Food Inc. for veganism.
Exactly, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the scientific method that says anything about a BA or an MS or an MPH or a DPH or any of these other degrees. Right. Nothing about an MD or a DO. The scientific method is not about credentials. It's important to recognize people who have gone through the process, the struggle to get those credentials, and important to separate people who seem to know what they're talking about from those who don't. But ultimately, the letters that tag at the end of your name really have nothing to do with the process of science. The process of science is about values. It's about open-mindedness. It's about thoroughness. And it's really about, are you really trying to reconcile all the observations, or are you trying to select some observations and ignore others to promote your pet hypothesis? And the person who's a true scientist is the person who resists the temptation to select the evidence that promotes their hypothesis and instead chooses to look at everything and try to make it all make sense and try to really open-mindedly come up with the truth. So science is about the pursuit of truth, and I think that's why people should have some regard for my writings, because what I try to do is pursue the truth.
In the paleo movement, people use epigenetics to talk about the effects of the maternal environment, and how a person can be born with altered insulin sensitivity or maybe leptin sensitivity, especially, could be screwed up by their in utero environment. And so there could be people that I think are born having to restrict even what I consider benign carbs like white rice and potatoes and sweet potatoes. There are probably people, and I have no idea exactly who they are, who need to avoid that no matter what forever, because they're, they got exposed to something in utero, in the mother's womb that they can't get over. How to tell those people from the people that just have to stick with the diet longer and eventually they get better? I don't know how.
This day and age of the internet, of access to PubMed and literally just like every every nutritional journal on the planet, if you've got a brain that can think, and really for me more important than intelligence is an interest in a topic. Then you've got an ability to get to become a world expert on a topic very, very quickly, and quickly being 5 to 10 years of digging around and rooting around on the topic. But the fact that I don't have an MD or an RD, I guess maybe that should be a concern. But then at the end of the day, I've helped to generate proposed mechanisms for several diseases related to autoimmunity. Huntington's related to transglutaminase, Porphyria cutanea tardia. So despite the lack of these credentials, I've been able to participate very vigorously both in medical-related areas and research-related areas, even without an MD or a PhD.